All right, I want to say hi to everybody. My name is Missy, and you can see our big smiles. We've been chatting off camera, and it's just been great. We've just had so much fun. We just get along so well. We've just got so much in common. But I'm Missy. I'm a life and health coach and a stress relief expert. And today I have Helen Graham, and I'm just so fascinated by her story. She's in Portugal right now. She's normally in Scotland, and I love how she's just bebopping all over the country. And I go from Tennessee to Georgia to Florida. I just go within the states. And then she's got this beautiful complexion, and she's just an amazing woman. So just real quick, I want you to just share with us, and then we're going to get into the meat of what we were talking about, because we just hit on some great stuff. So just share with us who you are, what you do. Just tell us a little bit about you.
Well, my name's Helen, and I've already shared my age with you, which is 64. So thanks. Everything you said about the skin, it's wonderful. And I was a school teacher for many years, but I have been a yoga teacher while I was still teaching in schools. I actually used to teach yoga as well. So I've been a yoga teacher for about 30 years now, and I learn by visiting India every year. So I've been to India over 40 times now. And that is what I do now. We were chatting before a little bit about our stories, and I was saying that I actually 20 years ago was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And I ended up being off work for about a year, which is pretty scary. And although I obviously had to take medication, it's the yoga, I like to say, it kind of repairs the body. It brings us back to normal. Medication will kind of heal and you'll be able to get up and walk around, but you won't necessarily be the person you were. And so it's the yoga that I always like to say is what heals us, is what puts me back together, if you see what I mean. So that's what I do now. And instead of doing, I think like yourself, instead of working with individuals face to face, as it were, I am now online, which is a big adventure, a big learning experience for me anyway.
Yeah. Now real quick, I want to dive into this. So to the people watching, over here are my notes that I'm writing down, because when she says something, I want to circle back to it. And over here are my notes to kind of help us keep going. Traditional medicine, prescription medicine, that's usually, it's symptomatic. It's to curb the symptoms. It's to reduce the pain, reduce, I guess, in rheumatoid arthritis, the progression and things like that. We're both into holistic medicine, if you will, the whole body. And her expertise is the yoga. And I'll be frank with you, and I told her this, I'm more of a Pilates person, because the yoga of just, sitting there and doing this and clearing your mind, I have too much of a monkey brain or a squirrel brain to shut this baby off. I do well to shut it off at night, and it took me years to do that. But when I was talking to her, just chatting with her a couple of weeks ago, just to see, if we would click and stuff, I'm sitting here with the phone, and she describes her yoga. And as she's describing her yoga, she was like, do this, put your feet here, lower your shoulder, take a deep breath, and all this little stuff she's telling me, I found myself doing. And I had my feet, and I was doing all this stuff, and I thought I could do that. I could do that kind of yoga. So she's going to get into that. But what she talked about with yoga healing the body, our bodies are designed, you could say created, you could say evolved if you want to, but to me, I just can't wrap my head around evolution. I do see some evolution in us. I really do. But there's such an incredible design to the body to repair itself, right? And that's just science. And so we're not saying that yoga is the whole, it's not going to cure your cancer, as we talked about. It's not going to cure your rheumatoid arthritis, but nutrition, and I handle the emotional part, and I handle the mental part, plus the physical, the yoga, right? Plus, all of it, pursuing your dream. We're both female entrepreneurs, and we talked about that earlier. And so it's a whole picture that we're painting here. And this one part that we're talking about is specifically her type of yoga because I'm not a fan of yoga. I'm not. I'm a fan of Pilates. But okay, to yoga's credit, I did a hot yoga, or what it was hot because it was 80 degrees, but we were at a winery. It was outside in the summer. It was beautiful. And that was the first time I'd ever been in a yoga class. Maybe that's the difference. But, she was like, do this, do that, do that. Maybe that's the difference instead of me doing it on YouTube or something. And I found the wrong ones on YouTube, I guess. Because anyway, okay, I'm getting a little squirrely. So, yeah, I wanted to wrap that up about the medicine. Let me look at my notes real quick. So, yeah, if you will share about the type of yoga that you do, and then we're going to wrap into that whole where we talked about our marketing message. That's real important.
It was really interesting what you said about the monkey mind, because my teacher, BKS Iyengar, he was actually quite interestingly, Time magazine, in 2004, I think this was, they did a list of the most influential people of the 20th century. And BKS Iyengar was on that list because he's credited with bringing yoga to the West.
Wow.
So all the yoga in the West is called Hatha yoga, and that basically means physical yoga. So if anybody here listening has been to a yoga class, they will have done these postures. They will have done the physical yoga. Yeah. There's a lot more to yoga than that. But for many of us, especially in the West, that's all we want to do. That is enough. Because many of us come with neck pain, back pain, too much stress, busy mind. Yeah. And doing the yoga postures can be enough to deal with all of that. Yeah. If you are interested, which some people are, they then go on to the philosophy and other things. But most people are just happy with doing the postures. And I suppose what makes the yoga that I do different is it's called Iyengar yoga. It was named after BKS Iyengar himself. And it's sometimes called meditation in action, which is why when I talked to you, Missy, that we were, how did that quieten my mind? It's because we very much have to be very attentive and focused like we are meditating, but because we're doing it while we're moving, it actually works to quieten the mind. Yeah. So we have to pay attention to how the body is aligned. Yes. Are you pressing your outer back foot down? Are you pressing your inner front foot down? Are you sucking the kneecaps up? Are you taking the front thighs to the back thighs? Where is your weight? Yeah. Is your head aligned with your tailbone? Are you rolling the shoulders back and down? Is the left side of your trunk even with the right? Or are you heavily breathing into the right and one shoulder's down? So you are constantly looking at what is happening with you, being constantly attentive in every pose you do. And that's where this idea of it being a meditation in action comes from. And that is why Guruji said it's great for us all, because these days we have so little attention span. We have such monkey minds jumping here, there and everywhere, that at some point, as you know, concentrating as you do on problems with stress, people have to quieten.
They do.
People have to learn to quieten.
They do. And that's why you're here. And of course, I'm going to put this in my group. I have a Stress Less SOS Facebook group, but where this is going to be shown initially is my business page and your business page. If you obviously want to share that, and we'll get to the whole marketing thing, which we didn't, but we'll do that later. But I'm also going to try, one day have a YouTube channel, because I want this information out there, right? I want this information out there because to me, I haven't heard this because as clear, I guess, or the light bulb is coming on with you. But I love the physical part because we have to move our muscles and, the myofascia and all that stuff, right? Okay, so there's the physical part. And you didn't touch on it, but I think, does yoga mean breath or something like that?
Yoga, there's several meanings.
Oh, okay.
Yoga often is about bringing things together.
Okay.
I suppose that's a layman's way of describing it.
Yeah, it's the physical, it's the mental,
yes,
it's the breath.
Yes.
It's the breath. And I love how yours is just so simple and so effective, right? And it's not this, like, I remember this one time she was like, send your breath to whatever's hurting. And I'm like, how do you really do that? Well, what she was saying is deep breathe and your body's going to take care of it. Well, I was like, okay, am I supposed to visualize my breath? What does that mean? And so then I'm tripped up going, oh my God, now I'm not even doing it right. I don't even know how to see my breath. Is that, and so whoop, she lost me. But if
that's exactly why I liked Iyengar yoga, because it was the simplicity of instruction. I understood what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
And after trying lots and lots of yoga for about 10 years, from when I started when I was about 14, and I accidentally went into an Iyengar yoga class, and I knew within a few minutes this was what I was looking for. And it's exactly what you described there.
Go ahead.
No, it was exactly that things being clear. I knew what I was doing. I liked the idea of having to align myself, everything being correctly placed. I liked the precision, the detail.
Yeah.
And this is it. Yes.
I forgot to warn her. I'm 50 years old and I raised my hand. So that's part of my, I won't say I have ADD, but yeah, maybe I do. And so if y'all see me do this, which it's a video, that just means, oh, wait, I got something. Because she said she accidentally went in. I don't believe in chance. I don't believe in luck. I don't believe in those kind of accidents. I mean, obviously we're going to have a car wreck or something, but that's another story. I just don't believe in chance. I don't believe in that. For me, I'm a believer, and I believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, but somebody else could be the divine or the universe or whatever, because there is I call it a magnetic force too. There's this magnetic force, this energy, right? What is water? Water is hydrogen, H2O. Let's see, H2O. So it's hydrogen and 2 oxygens, and they're bound together by ions, positive and negative ions. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. We're all connected. It's cosmic. It's cosmic, people. Okay, so I'll get off my little soapbox on that one. But I don't believe in that accident part. I'm not reprimanding or nothing like that. Go ahead.
No, you're absolutely right. I kept looking. I knew there was something there.
Yeah.
It took me a while to find it. But when I found it, I knew that was it.
And her path of her accidentally finding has now helped me. And now here we are doing this live. We're live at this moment. We're going to be putting it out there as a live, but it's recorded at that time. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to help somebody else. And that's what I love. I haven't come up with an official name for this yet, but I want to hear people's stories of how, instead of just staying in that despair and discouragement and confusion, they had this pivotal moment and then they ran with it. And now they're out there helping the world. Even from a business standpoint, this isn't a ministry. We're not a mission. We're not an organization. We're business women. But our businesses are impacting positively, females specifically, but people out there, would you say? Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's not just so many. When I was living in Scotland, before I did my little traveling looking for the sun, I had weekly classes, and I just met so many people that would come back and say, do you know, I slept really well.
Yeah.
Not happened before. My back pain is getting less. I really feel as though I now know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Busy business women, classes were just full of business people that just wanted something else. Businessmen who had been keen runners and said, my knees are in a state.
Yeah.
I got a lot of ex-footballers actually who were saying, oh my God, put me back together. Football has just killed my body.
Yeah.
And all kinds of people. My daughter says, oh, I wish you wouldn't say that. It sounds so cheesy. But really, if yoga was a pill, we'd be taking it. We really would be taking it.
That's it.
And I know that yoga has transformed my life, but also my daughter and my husband. I mean, my daughter doesn't go anywhere now without a yoga mat in her backpack, nowhere. It's made a tremendous difference to her. And I know if people listen to this and they have a look at what you're doing, what I'm doing, the two are so complementary, and it would make an amazing difference. Yeah. And it's not just, I think when people think of their health, they know they've got to look after themselves, but they don't always follow on to see that that means that their business works better. Yeah. Their children suddenly, oh, it's nice, mum, and not constantly harassed, mum.
Right.
That there is just so much more that's affected.
Yeah.
It just, I know I've got off message here. No,
you're doing good, because what we talked about before, and this is a perfect lead in, you're right. If yoga was a pill, because how easy is that? I took my vitamins earlier. I have some supplements. I do, I've got chronic fatigue, and I've got, what else? Fibromyalgia. I don't even think I've been tested for rheumatoid markers, but I do have arthritis. But anyway, if it was a pill, absolutely. But here's the thing that we talked about offline is our marketing message, right? Well, you want it all sweet and sugary, and come talk to me because I can help you, but I don't want to ruffle your feathers too much. Yeah. But also at the same time, I don't think people, and I'm going to let you say what you said to me, at the same time, some of my stuff is shock and awe, because if I have all these cute little quotes, oh, that was good, and they're going to move on. But if I can jar that attention of, and you said it earlier.
Yes, our sedentary lifestyles are actually killing us. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. There's a wee fact I was going to say a bit earlier. Our bones are less dense and our muscles are weaker than they were something like 50 years ago.
I can see that, yeah.
We have all these labor-saving devices, so we don't have to. I don't know if you remember this. I remember washing clothes with my grandmother, and we were trying to explain this to my daughter, and she was going, "What?" I said, "You had 1 day a week for washing, and it took the entire day." And we had this, my grandmother had this big tub and what was called the dolly, and you had to go like that with it. Now, my daughter's seen people washing clothes in India by a river, and it's a very vigorous physical thing.
Yeah.
Well, we just put ours in the washing machine and press a button.
I've just recently got the fancy one that, it's the like pause button, because I used to do the little turn. Now this right here is where I do believe in evolution, because it gets down to the DNA level. Like they have Holocaust survivors who's, because of the trauma, their DNA was clipped or snipped or whatever you want to call it, and then they had children. Well, that DNA was passed to those children, and they've done studies. I don't believe in animal studies. I don't. But I heard this beautiful woman say that we can take that information that they learned so that it's not in vain. And so they scared this one generation of mice with I'm not going to say what they did. So they scared them, but at the same time, they let them smell cherry blossoms. Well, their DNA was altered. Okay, now take away the whole scare factor and everything, and they have children. Well, they would bring in the smell of cherry blossoms, and they would get scared. And then they had children. No more scaring. I won't say what they did. No more scaring. Brought in the smell of cherry blossoms. They were scared. Mm-hmm. They didn't know why. And this right here is where I do believe in. I don't know the true definition of evolution, because I'm more of a sciencey genetic component. I love that kind of stuff. But our DNA for our muscles, our DNA for our bones are getting, as like me. Okay, now I'm behind a computer and da-da-da-da-da. And then my children are crazy way more sedentary than I am. And then their children will be. And then their children will be.
It is quite frightening.
Yeah.
It really is quite frightening.
Yeah.
And there was something else I was reading, which is actually, we've done the scary bit. The good news, because a lot of people don't like the gym. That's fine. I didn't like the gym.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily what you need to do is an hour heavy exercise.
Right.
That isn't necessarily what you need to do.
Yeah.
So if you don't like the gym, you don't have to think, oh, well, that's me. What can I do? I might as well just sit at my desk and wait for things to fall apart.
Right.
Just in bringing movement back into your day, because otherwise we've all got a long list of to-dos. I hate that to-do list.
I know, right.
And looking after yourself is right at the bottom. It's always right at the bottom. Right, I must go out and have a walk. I must run up and down the stairs 3 times or whatever, or I must get to the gym.
Yeah.
And that's right at the bottom, and you never do it.
Never.
However, if your car needs a service, you're there because your car must work. But if you don't work, if your body breaks down, if your mind breaks down, if anything about you breaks down, what is going to happen? It's going to be more of a trauma for you than actually your car breaking down, because you can always get a taxi. An Uber. Uber's there. But what are you going to do if you break down? You don't have the equivalent of an Uber to carry you about. And this, I think, is what people need to realise. Another little story, when we were talking years ago about various kinds of insurance with a financial advisor, my daughter was only small. And the guy said to us, well, if anything happened, he said to my husband, if anything happened to your wife, how much do you think you would need so that you were paying somebody to do what she does?
Right.
And my husband's going, oh, I don't know, not very much.
Yeah. Right.
But he said, well, hang on, who gets your daughter up? Who makes the meals? Who does the housework? Who, if the housework is done, who organises the cleaner? Who takes your daughter to school? Who brings her back? Who takes her to dance? Who brings her back? Who does all of this organisation? Yeah. And we're not even getting close to replacing her salary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you think about that, then you run your own business. You should be top of the to-do list, not at the bottom of the to-do list.
You know, one of my favorite things is even though I have not traveled to, I think I've been to the Bahamas. I think that's the only country I've been to. But I'm going to, people. I'm going to. But anyway, I have flown in an airplane. And what do they tell you to do? In the event of, I think it's loss of cabin pressure, the mask will drop down. Don't be sweet. Don't be compassionate. Don't be grateful nor mindful, and put it on the person next to you. Put it on you first.
Yeah.
What? As a parent? No way. I'm putting it on my child, and you both are going to die.
Yeah.
Put it on you first. Put it on you first.
Exactly.
That still trips me. The first time I heard that, I thought, well, I'm not going to do that. I'll put it on my child first. Until she went on, and I was like, oh, okay, you're right. That makes sense. And that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to run your business? Which you gave a story earlier. Who's going to run your business? If you're, you know, I was bedridden. I laid on the couch for years. I thought I was dying. I have my own story. Check out my About page because I don't want to take up this precious time. And you have your story.
Yeah.
I never thought I would end up in bed, not able to move, thinking I was dying. And
me neither. Yeah.
It was a process of DIYing it, doing it myself, that took years. Nobody was there to motivate me. And that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's why we're sitting here on a beautiful, actually, finally, it's beautiful outside, Saturday afternoon, morning for me, talking to people. We're wanting to shake you gently with love, and say, it's time. You're worth it. And you can DIY it all you want to, or we're here for you.
And waiting till you're ill, why do that?
I know. Yeah.
Why do that? It is not a good idea. Start now when you're healthy. Yeah. Because your family and your business need you.
Yeah.
That basically is the message. Yeah.
And baby steps.
Absolutely, baby steps. It's always, if you want to change any behavior, if you want to introduce anything new, tiny little steps. Yeah. Because we're still early on in the year, and all those massive New Year resolutions that were made, highly likely to be broken by now. Baby little steps. If you say, tomorrow I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. and do an hour's exercise, whatever it is. And then I'll be ready. The kids will be up. I'll get them off school, whatever. If you last a week, I'll be astonished.
Yeah, right.
Maybe it will last a week. But if you say, I'll get up 5 minutes earlier, do one thing, and then that builds into a habit.
Yeah.
And it is not a trauma to your body, which is
Right.
basically making a massive change. It's a big trauma. And our brains don't help us necessarily.
Yeah. You're right. Well, I tell you, let me ask you this, and I'm putting you on the spot, so I apologize. But I think you can do this. So let's say we have. Well, I know we have somebody's attention because we wouldn't be here. I just don't believe that the universe and God said, "Yeah, we need you to waste your time," and there's nobody listening. I just don't think that. But anyway, so let's see. There goes my mind. I lost what I said. Okay, here's what I said. Okay, so I think that we've had people's attention. And they're like, okay, you've scared me. You've talked why it's important. Now show me. Would you be able, see, like I've caught myself during our interview. I've caught myself doing my shoulders. Would you be able to do a 1 or 2 minute, just something like I'm setting here? Most people are either setting or they're driving. What can we do? Just 1 or 2 simple things. And then we're going to move into how somebody can work with you, how I've got a free gift and you've got a free gift. Do you have something you can walk us through?
Something really simple. I'm going to have to move the camera away a little bit.
Okay.
So something really, really simple. Let's see if I can stand up. This is so simple.
Okay.
And you could actually do it sitting down, but you can also, I'm going to stand up so you can actually see my hands.
Okay.
I'm going to take a deep interlock of my fingers, but behind my back.
Okay.
So behind your back, take a deep interlock of your fingers. Don't leave your arms straight like that. Stretch your arms down. Now, I'm going to turn and face you. Now, straight away, I can see your neck.
Yeah.
Now, because I've got this on, you can't see my neck, but can you see the collarbones here are brought to become very wide.
Yeah.
Your shoulder bones roll back.
Yeah.
This big muscle here that comes and jams the neck and pushes the neck forward, it is pulled down your back so that your neck can release. And the other thing that happens is your chest starts to open. And that means that you breathe better.
Yeah.
When your chest is lifted, you know if you're scared or depressed.
Yeah.
You protect yourself. Your chest drops and you get into this kind of position. So if you pull your shoulders back, lift your chest up, it makes you more confident. I don't know if you remember now, Wonder Woman.
Ah, love Wonder Woman.
Do you remember how Wonder Woman? When I'm teaching people to become teachers, yoga teachers, a lot of people find it very scary standing in front of people and talking.
Yeah.
So I get them to hold the hands, roll the shoulder bones back, lift the chest. And if you remember Wonder Woman used to put the hands on the hips, and it is doing the same thing. Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
And stand with your feet wide. You take up more space, and it really gives you a confidence.
Yeah.
So even just doing this before a sales call, before you're going to have a conversation with somebody about something,
that's good.
Before doing something, and it will increase your confidence, as well as re-educating your shoulders. Stay down from your ears. Taking your head back to the alignment of where it should be, instead of, people say, why do I get laptop neck? It's because your trapezius muscle comes up and it pushes your neck into this position. You must have seen little old ladies walking along the street.
Oh, yeah.
And they have the hump. And all of them, the neck's forward, the head's forward. And that is what happens. I used to teach teenagers mathematics. Oh, God help me. And you would see them at their desks. And they'd get up and they'd still be like this. And I used to have to say, roll your shoulder bones back, stand up. You know, as you walk out the room, stand up, be tall. So that's just a little thing you can do at your desk anytime.
Anytime.
Just do it during the day.
Yeah.
And if you've got the kind of chair that doesn't have arms on it, you can just hold the back of the chair or the side of the chair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, so because for some people, if they interlock the fingers, they can't straighten the arms.
Yeah.
So if you hold on to the sides of the chair, the back of the chair,
Yeah.
so that your hands are apart and just grip the back of the chair or the sides of the chair. And that's the same thing. They do exactly the same thing. So it's so easy, it's so simple. And you can do it any time of the day.
Yeah. And I will share with you, so whether it's chronic fatigue, which I do have a lot of food sensitivities, that's fine. I do have a lot of food sensitivities, and sometimes I have interactions with my body. And I did have some potatoes yesterday, and nightshades are a big trigger for my pain. So the first time I did it, I felt some tightness. I felt not pain like, oh, I can't do it, not like that, but pain like, okay, this is a little bit uncomfortable, that kind of thing. But it was okay. It was absolutely okay. Okay, the second time I did it, I felt better. The third time I did it,
always, when we're doing yoga, always you repeat everything twice.
Yeah.
Because the first time the body goes, what's going on here? What am I meant to be doing? Second time it goes, right, now I understand what she's wanting me to do.
I love that.
And starts to do it.
I love that. Muscle memory. There's a thing called muscle memory. If you're the science part of it and you don't want to get into the woo-woo part of it. And that's it. And now I got my chair now. I like that chair thing.
Yeah, because you don't have to bring the hands together. It can be too close the first time. So you can even hold a book or something. Yeah. Hold it down. Interestingly, what you said about muscle memory, BKS Iyengar used to call it the intelligence of the body. And he used to say, your body is more intelligent than you are. So listen to it.
It is true. It is true. My body was telling me, and then we're about to wrap up, but my body was telling me, now for me, I don't detox well. So my body was telling me, give up the alcohol, give up the Diet Mountain Dews, give up this, give up that. And it's okay. It's okay because you're in Portugal and you've got stuff going on, right? And this is how we handle stress, right? Because my cat normally is meowing. So, we've got some background noise and that's okay because isn't that life, right?
Oh, sorry, I got distracted there.
That's okay.
Actually, interestingly, you're talking about I got distracted by the cat because you've got how many cats?
One.
You've got one cat. I had two, and if you watch cats, the way they move.
Oh, yeah.
That's how we should be moving. Yeah. If you watch animals, the way they stretch and the way they move.
Yeah. I've got a whole thing on zebras. After, of course, the ones that get away, once they're chased by a lion and the ones that get away, they'll shake all over. And that's them releasing the stress. They don't think about it, talk about it, oh my gosh, this is what happened. They shake it off. And I've got a whole series. I've got like a stress e-course that I teach. And one of my lessons is shaking it off. And it's not about Taylor Swift's song. It's about movement. Just shaking your hands sometimes can relieve that anxiety. Just moving can relieve that pent up stress. But that's, but yoga.
That's very interesting because relieving stress in yoga, what often people want to do is lie about. But in actual fact, exactly what you said, sometimes the best way of dealing with stress is actually moving, but moving not in a way that's going to make it worse, but as you were saying, the zebras do. Yeah.
So, the gentle
really
movement. Yeah. And I forgot who wrote the book. Robert somebody wrote a book on why zebras don't get ulcers, and that's his premise there. Well, all right. So let's see real quick. So we've done the example, and we talked about how we do believe in wholeness. So we're addressing our mind, our body, and our spirit. So we are wrapping up, and I'm going to be offering what I call my Stress Less SOS Action Guide. And there's just simple tools to help people not only stress less, but it's practical and it's ways to just implement. Well, my very first lesson is deep breathing. My second lesson is prayer and meditation. So if you pray, and actually prayer is just a form of communication. You
It's
know,
a form of meditation
it
and
is. It
communication.
is. It
Yes,
is. And
absolutely.
so, and then I've got things on stopping the chronic negative thoughts, and I've got all this part. But then you, my dear, please tell us about your free gift.
Well, when people get stressed, it's fine. They deal with the stress and everything you've said. They need that SOS
Mm-hmm.
ebook. They definitely need that. But what they're often left with are the physical results of the stress.
Yes. Yes.
So then I have a wee free video, 12 easy exercises to release neck and shoulders.
Yeah.
So for the busy business women out there that are on their laptops a lot, deal with the stress. Find your strategies to deal with the stress.
Yeah.
Absolutely have to do that.
Yeah.
And then I would say a few yoga exercises to how can I say it? To reboot the body.
Right.
Basically, okay, let's get all these nasty habits of shoulders up. You're not stressed. You don't need them up here.
Right.
Let's get rid of them.
That's right. That's right.
It's a great combination we've got here.
We really do.
I'm really, really happy about this. And I'd just like to thank you so much. I can't believe it. We're on opposite sides of the Atlantic. But we just have a bond and so much in common. It is just brilliant.
It is. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it?
It is.
It is a beautiful thing. And let me find the mute button. I'm about to cough. Okay, so for those of you who believe in the universe, because everybody has to have a nemesis, right? Superman, Lex Luthor. I just lost who Superman's was. I guess it is Lex Luthor. Batman. Okay, so God for me, I just call him the enemy. All right, if you believe in the universe, your nemesis is a black hole, right? A black hole sucks the energy out of wherever. So I think that's funny because sometimes when something like this is going really good, I'll start coughing or something will happen. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get through this. But anyway, that's just a crazy side note there. But yeah, this is a beautiful thing. And it's so important. It's absolutely so important. And one thing I wrote down I didn't get back to, you mentioned you used to have weekly classes like in person. How can somebody work with you online, like wherever you are?
Well, I have got an online course which has just gone up online at iyengaryogaschool.com. Thank you so much. I know there's a newspaper called the Guardian newspaper. It's a national newspaper in the UK. And they did a thing on, what do people do when they should be retiring? And there was a picture of me, 64 years old, started her online course.
I love it.
You're never too old to change your habits.
Right.
Start new ones and to do something. And I think you mentioned a YouTube channel earlier you were hoping to do.
Yes.
I have just got a YouTube channel. Only one video on it yet, but there's more going up. So again, it's Iyengar Yoga, Helen Graham, and I think you'll find it. So
and I'm gonna put a link.
Channel up and going.
Yeah. I'm going to put a link to all of our free gifts and all that. And so what we're really going to do, of course, it's kind of a mute to tell them now because they will be watching, but this is recorded. But you and I are either going to have a watch party or a Facebook Live so we can be there to answer questions, even on the replay or the live. And then we're going to show this. And then, of course, YouTube, because the more channels we get this on, the more people we'll reach. And what we're talking about is simple stuff.
It is simple, but not to put too fine a point on it, life-saving.
Well, it is.
Really.
Right? It really is. And I'm the poster child, which I didn't even think about this today, so you can't see my shoulders. But sometimes
I know you can't see mine.
Well, mine connect to my neck. Because I have a stressful childhood story. I have a stressful teenage story and early adults and 30-year-old and 40-year-old. I mean, I've just been on this roller coaster of stress and I caught myself, I live like this. And like you said, I'm okay now. I don't have to do that. I can train my body to go back down. Yeah. That feels wonderful. So I'm sorry I look like a turtle, people, but that feels wonderful.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's like rebalancing, rebooting your shoulders, just showing your body where it should be and helps you breathe.
It does. It does. And so while you were doing that, I was trying to breathe. Of course, I'm not going to do a full breath, right here with everybody because I don't know where the microphone is. But I do want to say this one more time because somebody out there, it is hard to push through. It is. So the first time I did it, my shoulders and I have arthritis in my thumbs. So I was putting a little bit of pressure on my thumb. And the first time I did it, I got a little, this hurts. But it was also in here. It was a knowing it's okay. It's going to be okay. Hang with it. So the second time I did it, I adjusted my thumbs. I felt better. The third time I felt better. Then you talked about that chair thing. It's okay to adapt this stuff. Wow.
That's the wonderful thing about Iyengar yoga that makes it different from other kinds of yoga is that he developed things we call props. And that means that all different things that you can use, a lot of them you've got around the house, cushions, blankets, belts. Yeah. So it doesn't matter your fitness level, your health, your age. Yeah. You can adapt all of these poses for you. And that is really, really important. Because many people are put off yoga because they look at pictures on Instagram and they think, what? No, that doesn't apply to me. Yeah. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about yoga that everybody, regardless of their fitness or health, can do and benefit from.
Yeah. This is absolutely wonderful. I thank you so much for being here. I know we've connected and we're going to stay connected. And I don't know what else we're going to do.
I think we can't stop talking to each other.
Well, I know when we were on, so okay, we'll just say bye everybody, but now we're going to keep talking. But when we were talking before, I was like, wait, we've got to hit the record button. And one thing I do want to say, and here's something real quick. We can talk to each other, and this isn't a long distance charge. You remember that, right? Long distance, I guess they still have that.
I know.
Yeah, right. And one more thing I do want to say, because sometimes people won't push through the pain, or they won't get in that habit, or they won't make themselves. So there's a balance here. And I'll also put the Mel Robbins video, the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's a beautiful, beautiful way to just do it. Nike's slogan is just do it. So that's on the one hand. Now, where I come in, and I imagine she can, and some other people can help you, counselors, pastors, whatever, but where I come in is sometimes there's something hidden down deep that hasn't been resolved from the past, and it's shouting for your help. So it could manifest in pain. It can manifest in self-sabotage. It can manifest in self-defeating actions and thoughts. So for the person the majority of our listeners are going to take this and run with it, and they're not going to have any problem. They might be a little bit lazy, but they can make themselves. There's going to be somebody else that there's a battle going on deep within. And those are the people that I want them to private message me, email me, reach out to me, reach out to you, because those kind of people, it's like having a broke leg and trying to run a marathon. That's not going to work. You got to deal with this part first, and then this part.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted to throw that out there for the person who's frustrated with, I've tried all the things, but it's a deeper internal kind of thing. Yeah.
That's a really important message that people need to hear.
Yeah, they do. And that was me. I was that square peg in the round hole. And I had all the programs, and I had all this, and I had all that, but I hadn't dealt with stuff from my childhood. And I hadn't dealt with, I thought I had, but I hadn't, And okay, lady, this is just great. And we're going to talk. We're going to keep in contact with each other. So let's do an official bye, and then I'm going to hit the pause button so we can talk, okay? So thank you, everybody. I'll put the links up, and you can grab her free gift and reach out to her. And I'll put your contact information on there too, okay? Okay. So
that's great.
Yeah. Give me just
bye.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. All right.